The lawsuit just came out last night, guys. We have minors. Now, I'm not going to say for a fact that Ellen DeGeneres was having a freak off with Diddy Glover and some young girls.
Feds have allegedly revealed Ellen DeGeneres was caught on tape with children at Diddy's mansions. Ellen was allegedly involved in child. She would allegedly sell furniture online at a very high price point, like small cabinets for $10,000. The names of the items were peculiar names like Naraya, Eurythia, Samia, and Alvia. But it turns out these weird names lined up perfectly with recent missing children in the area. So it's alleged the names of the furniture was sort of like a code to buy kids online. So you would buy the product and it would actually be a front for buying a child. It's also coincidental that Ellen's set was strikingly similar to Epstein's Island.
Tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seen the show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy?
You won't believe what's happening in Hollywood. America's favorite talk show host, Ellen Jones, is on the run. In this picture, she's inside her mansion, frantically packing up designer suits and comfy sneakers into a Louis Vuitton suitcase. She keeps glancing over her shoulder like she's in some spy movie, totally paranoid. But why is Ellen running? And what's got her so scared? Word on the street is it's not just any ordinary situation. There's talk about a certain name being involved, and the tea is boiling hot, ready to spill all over Tinseltown. Ellen isn't waiting around to find out what happens next. Paparazzi are camped outside her gates, but our girl is always one step ahead. She probably has a secret escape tunnel because if I were a celebrity with secrets, I'd have one too. Ellen is shaking, honey, and you'll want to stick around to hear what she said next.
Diddy reacts because I guess he was there around the area when it happened in Miami. Of course. We actually had a whole discussion earlier in the show. Is Chris Brown as bad? I don't think he's as bad as Diddy, but I still think he's bad, guys. And we had a nice discussion about it. I don't think it's ever okay to do what he did to Rihanna. It wasn't defense. If you look at the photo of Rihanna, it was offense. And he took it too far. That's my opinion. You never do that. Now, women, you're not allowed to do that to men either. But men, we got to be better. Don't ever do that to a woman. I don't like Chris Brown. I never will just because of it. I hope he gets better. It seems like he might have, although I also think he's got some anger issues. But whatever, let's get to the video. Here's Sean Diddy Combs confronting Ellen about the Chris Brown situation.
Well, this leads me to the perfect thing, because I would like you to clear something up. There's a lot of talk going on.
Yeah, I love it. Diddy's like, yeah, go ahead, I'm going to clear it up. Sure you will.
With Chris Brown.
What is this, like, weird?
Being at your place in Miami, and you arranging Chris and Rihanna getting back together. Now,
So, because he normalizes it. He helped Chris Brown and Rihanna get back together because clearly now we know he was doing it to all his women too.
You want to talk?
We must forgive Chris Brown, like all the chat was telling me, because it's, he's better. Oh.
About that?
See, I wouldn't use my Twitter to talk about that because that's somebody else's business.
I know, but you gave them your house.
Yeah. But we're talking about Twitter.
Yeah.
How you use Twitter, and that's something else. I'm just saying I wouldn't really Twitter about that.
Okay, let's not Twitter about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Sure.
Let's talk about it.
Good on Ellen for not letting him get off this one. Because this one's actually going to look pretty good. Let's not Twitter about it. Let's talk about it. Nice deflection there, Diddy. Nice deflection.
I think you clearly have a lot of people going, why would you do that? Why would you give Chris, a guy who hit a girl, and he's jet skiing around in your, I don't understand. Because,
it's making more sense now, isn't it, Ellen? It is.
I was a huge fan of Chris's. I love his music. He's a talented guy, but to hit a girl.
Yeah, because I know both of them, and it's my house, and I'm allowed to get my house wherever I want to get my house.
Sure.
So that's number one. Number two is,
I'm allowed, Ellen, I'm gonna take over. I'm allowed to give my house to whoever I want to give my house to, even abusers.
that I'm the type of person that I don't cast a stone or cast a judgment on anybody.
I wonder why. Jesus.
And so if a friend or friends ask me for a favor, then I'm gonna be there for a favor as long as I know that the energy of the favor is positive for two people to sit down and talk about a situation that they're in. I'm not gonna get involved in it. I'm not gonna pass judgment on it. If I could be there as a friend during hard times, then I'm gonna be there as a friend.
Right.
But I don't know the exact particulars. I didn't get into it. I'm not gonna do this or do that.
You liar. You didn't know the particulars.
It was a dark time for them, and I was there more as a support. That was it.
I think you were coming from a place of a friendship and of.
So here's Ellen now. Oh, Ellen. Oh, Ellen, who's a lot has been coming out about Ellen being friends with Diddy, and clearly this whole conversation was prepped before it aired. So now Ellen's got to do damage control to protect Diddy. I'm going to ask you about it, but I'll help you. Let me help you. You were trying to be a good friend. Oh, really, Ellen? Was that what it was now in hindsight? Does it look that way now?
Of kindness and support. And it's just, it's hard for me, and I don't believe in judgment either, but I don't want any girl out there thinking it's okay to go back to a guy who hit her. I don't want any girl.
Well said, and she's right.
I don't think.
And now Diddy's like, oh, crap, a whole bunch. Look at all these women. Look at all these women clapping. Oh, no. Not you. Oh, yeah. Ellen, it is him. It is him. How gross and dark is this now?
You all put me in it. So I'm going to speak on it. I don't think it's,
You're all putting me in it. Now I got to defend it. I got to defend this kind of behavior.
I think that it's right for anybody to hit anybody at the end of the day, you know? And I don't think it's right. You know, I think that we all have to be honest with ourselves as adults and people that have been in relationships, you know.
Let's be honest, because sometimes a girl just deserves it. Is that where he's going?
We know sometimes those relationships get ugly, you know, and sometimes it doesn't come out into the forefront the way this one has come out. And it's a lot of stones being thrown, and we don't know exactly what's going on. These are two...
We don't know what she said to deserve it? Oh, my God. And Ellen's just like...
young individuals. We need to pray for them, and we need to get certain support, but you don't need to start just saying that you know something that you don't know. You wasn't in that car. I wasn't in that car, and it isn't right for him to put his hands on her or her to put his hands on him, and we don't know what the problem is, but we need to pray for them, and we need to do things to support them, and that's all I want to say about it.
I agree with you. I want to support you. Here's how I'm going to help you.
Thank you. Huh. I don't know, man. I don't like this. I don't like Ellen. Don't like Diddy. I haven't liked Chris Brown. Now again, Rihanna hasn't never pressed charges. She's never really spoken ill of him. I think they were in love. I do believe she probably was causing things herself. I'm not going to deny it. But as a man, you never go that far. And if you look at the photo of Rihanna, my goodness, I don't know what on earth she could have done to warrant that. I don't. Chris Brown's a big guy. He can defend himself. He can block himself. He can get out of a car or whatever. There's never a reason a man specifically can't walk away. Now, a woman, you're not allowed to do that either. You can't do it. Nobody can do it to either, as even Diddy said. But in that instance, I don't know, man. Trying to get them back together. There's anger in Chris Brown, and now we know there's anger in Diddy, and to see that connected, it's not a good look for Ellen. It's not a good look for Chris Brown. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Look how angry he is.
Can you take a break and do it afterwards?
Can we dance?
Yes.
I would like to dance.
Dance. Do it.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's just dance. Woo! Holy crap. Holy crap. That's wild. That's wild. So they clearly prepped this. Ellen knew it. Ellen knew Diddy was covering up for Chris Brown, was helping to keep them going.
Let's talk about this mysterious list that everyone's whispering about while Ellen plays hide and seek. Is it just another celebrity rumor, or does it hold the key to exposing Hollywood's darkest secrets? This isn't just some random piece of paper. It's got the entire industry shaking. What's the deal with Diddy's list? According to rumors, it's packed with the biggest names in Hollywood, but not in a flattering way. We're talking names, dates, and receipts that could either make or break careers faster than you can say. Cancel culture. The allegations swirling around this list are wilder than a 2007 Lindsay Lohan party. Some say it's about underground parties. Others whisper about cover-ups and hush money, like someone just opened the closet door and let all of Hollywood's skeletons tumble out. But here's the kicker. It's not just about what's on the list. It's about who made it. If these whispers are true, careers could take a nosedive, endorsement deals could evaporate, and carefully curated reputations might crumble. And with Diddy's name being linked to it, that's like throwing gasoline on a dumpster fire. Diddy's connections run deep, deeper than the Mariana Trench, and if he's spilling secrets, you can bet they're going to be scandalous. Buckle up, folks, because if this list sees the light of day, Hollywood might never be the same.
Damn! I mean, I don't know, chat. That's nasty. This does not hold up. Look, I have never been a fan of Ellen. I mean, I guess, in the beginning. That's not fair. I'm just like recently, ever since her like downfall, I'm like, all right, adios, see ya. She's out there doing the meanest, dumbest things to her own staff, but helping Diddy get out of PR crisis. Yeah! Good for you. We weren't in that car. Maybe Rihanna was a massive bitch and deserved it. You're right. Yeah. Like, what planet are we on? There is no excuse for what he did. There isn't. There's no excuse if she did it to him. But I'm sorry. Call me sexist, whatever you want. He shouldn't have touched her. He shouldn't have touched her. That is never an option. And in Diddy's world, it is. And he's justifying it. I don't know what she did. I don't know what he did. I don't know. I know what happened because I saw the photo, and anybody who touched her, he didn't look like that the next day. So that tells you something. I don't know why. Look, I'm not trying to say Chris is as bad as Diddy. I don't know. But we know he did it. And I don't forgive him as quickly as everybody else does. I like a lot of his tunes, but the dude's still very angry. Dude gets very mad when you bring it up. And that's not the proper way. He's got to understand we're all very triggered by what he did, and he should be ashamed of himself. To this day, he's going to own up to it. And I've never seen him remorseful in a way or like actually take accountability publicly, which I feel like he does. Otherwise, we're going to keep judging him. It's not about judging someone unfairly. That man destroyed her face. And I'm sorry, even if she was getting in a fight or jealous or yelling at him or nagging, there's no justification. And I can't show you the picture, but you guys can go look up that picture of Rihanna. It is horrifying. It is horrifying. So to see Ellen out there, like, oh yeah, you want to dance now? Oh, Diddy's good. Okay, all good. Way to connect Rihanna back with her abuser, Diddy. Yeah, we'll be back out in this dance. Yeah, Hollywood, man. Disgusting. Disgusting. And we'll call it out. That's what we do here. You know we do it. So if you want us to keep calling it out, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up as well, and leave a comment down below. What do you think? Who's worse? Chris Brown, Ellen, Diddy? I want you to rate it from worst to worstest, with 1 being the worst, but 3 being the worst. Put them in that scale. Diddy, Chris Brown, Ellen. How do you do? I guess I'd put, oh man, well, Diddy's the worst, so he's number 3. And then it's Ellen and Chris. What do you think?
Now, here's the real question. Is this list even real? In Hollywood, rumors can sometimes feel more reliable than reality TV. Whether true or not, the fear they spark is undeniable. And guess what? Kim Kardashian's name might be on that list too. Yup, even Ellen DeGeneres, the queen of daytime TV, seems more worried than just about her dance moves. If Ellen's name really made it onto that list, it might explain why she's acting like she's auditioning for The Fugitive. But what could Ellen possibly be involved in? She's always been seen as America's sweetheart, But sometimes the brightest smiles hide the darkest secrets. Could it have something to do with those past workplace drama rumors? Or is there a whole new scandal brewing that we haven't even heard about yet? One thing's for sure, if Ellen is running, she's not the only one. Rumor has it that half of Hollywood is either scrambling to lawyer up or booking flights to countries without extradition treaties. It's starting to feel like a game of celebrity musical chairs, and no one wants to be the one left standing when the music stops.
What's the latest with the investigation?
Yes, Steve and Bianca, as U.S. Attorney Damian Williams promised earlier this week, he said this is an ongoing investigation and that they will be speaking to more people. We found out that these two individuals, and we have actually spoken to one of them. They are both sex workers, currently sex workers. One of them says that they had an interaction with Diddy in 2014, and they are willing to tell the feds what they know about that interaction. And another one said that they are willing, and not only willing, but have been subpoenaed to go before the grand jury. So the second person could end up going before the grand jury. At this stage, they are just going to be interviewed by prosecutors. Clearly, they're trying to figure out what these other witnesses know and how they can help them convict Diddy, and that's the name of the game at this point for the feds.
Yeah.
The question is if there is going to be a jury, because yesterday you reported that a former warden had a warning for Diddy that he should watch his back in prison.
Yeah, look, this is, he's going to be in this at Brooklyn, MDC Brooklyn. Who knows? It could be up to a year before this trial begins. And obviously, they're going to be, his attorneys have said that they're going to try to get him moved to a different facility. But for now, he's in there. And what we've been told by a former warden is he's a target. That's the fact of the matter. And that's why they have him in a solitary part of the jail, because they don't, he becomes a target because it's like what we've been told, it's like a badge of honor, that if you were able to inflict some violence on Diddy, that gets you score points with other inmates. So that's a situation that obviously the jail officials do not want to happen. So they're going out of the way to make sure that doesn't happen. He is in a really, can you imagine like the lap of luxury that Diddy's been used to for decades now, and then just like that, he is now in this jail, and unless they can get him bail at some point, he's going to be behind bars for a long time.
Just briefly, what's going on behind the scenes in Hollywood? All these people who partied with him, who might be on these hidden tapes. What level of panic are you hearing from all these people we know who associated with him over the years?
I will tell you, Steve, we are not hearing any panic because no one, and this has been true since the raids, really, nobody people who we know Diddy. We've seen them at his parties, and I'm not talking about the freak-offs. I mean, we haven't seen any of that video, though. Remember, the feds say they do have video that they seized during the raids from those freak-offs, so they know who the celebrities are, if there are any involved in the freak-offs. But we've seen plenty of video over the years of Diddy's very public parties, and all those people, they're not saying anything. They haven't for months, and yes, to your point, there certainly got to be people who are nervous about getting a call from the U.S. Attorney's Office, whether it be to come in as a witness, whether it be just to be interviewed to find out what they know, or go before the grand jury, which is something nobody wants to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to be away from this case as much as possible.
We're certainly just scratching the surface on this case. Let's talk about something else happening right now. You're reporting today that Lady Gaga's dad just endorsed Trump, calling him pure and a patriot. Was this surprising to you as you guys were talking about this today?
It was definitely surprising. Joe Germanata, or as we've been calling him here in the office, Daddy Gaga, went on Fox and Friends this morning and very full-throatedly endorsed former President Trump and spoke about why he is endorsing him. He acknowledged that, in his word, the word he used was, he acknowledged that Trump is abrasive but he just prefers his policy. He said, I'm not voting for a person, I'm voting for the policy. And he felt like New York has gone downhill and while Joe Biden was in the White House, and he thinks that Trump should be back there. You can tell he is not comfortable with some of the things that Trump says or does, but it's about policy for him. It was weird because we all know that Lady Gaga is very liberal, and while she has not endorsed Kamala Harris yet, she did full-heartedly endorse Joe Biden, and we're expecting at some point she will do that for Harris and Walz.
Yeah, as of right now, I think all she's done is like the post from Taylor Swift or whatever.
The family dinners are going to get interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, imagine Thanksgiving after the election.
It's an American story at this point, that's for sure. That's right, you know?
People are playing musical chairs with their reputations, but let's take a closer look at Ellen. Is she really running from the feds? Or is this just another classic Hollywood stunt? The streets are buzzing, but Ellen's silence is giving a whole new vibe. The tea on her is hotter than a summer sidewalk in Louisiana. So, is she really making a run for it? Or could this all be a next-level Puerto Rico distraction? 1 minute, she's dancing with A-listers on her show, and the next, she's MIA faster than you can say. Asterisk, be kind to one another. Asterisk, since this whole drama kicked off, Ellen's been quieter than a mouse in church. She went from being all over social media to becoming a digital ghost. No tweets, no Instagram posts, nothing. Some people are giving this situation the side eye, while others claim she's holed up in a secret bunker, probably binge-watching her own reruns and stress-eating vegan cookies. Ellen's too smart to actually run, right? Maybe she's just staying low and letting the rumors swirl. After all, when was the last time Ellen had this much buzz? Whether intentional or not, she's back in the spotlight, and it seems like everyone can't stop talking about her.
Yeah, man. Anybody who in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bro. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bro. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We gonna go back and you gonna tell me what, we gonna talk about this. You said, I'ma ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true.
Let's unpack Ellen's potential connection to this mysterious list. Given the workplace drama that blew up a while back, people claimed that her show was more toxic behind the scenes than a high school cafeteria. Could this list be linked to all that controversy? Or is there something even darker lurking beneath the surface? The streets are buzzing with wild theories. Some say Ellen just got caught in the middle of a bigger Hollywood scandal, while others believe she's hiding secrets deeper than her designer wardrobe. Honestly, Ellen's name on this list feels as out of place as finding a Walmart shirt in a luxury boutique. It doesn't quite fit, unless there's something more we're missing. Now, here's where things get interesting. A source close to Ellen, and I mean closer than her dance moves to staying on beat, dropped a bombshell. Ellen isn't running from anything. She's just done with the circus, but is this source spilling real tea? Or are they just trying to cover Ellen's tracks? And let's not forget, Ellen's Hollywood connections run deep. If she really wanted to make this drama disappear, she probably could have done it with a phone call. So, is she secretly enjoying the attention, or is she genuinely rattled? Ellen's whole brand has been built on kindness, but now it seems like karma might be knocking on her door. Or maybe, just maybe, this is all part of a larger scheme we haven't even scratched the surface of yet.
And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say allegedly because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentors, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So, it's a learned behavior, bro. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bro. You just don't just just turned in a matter of years, the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. He led Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Cause you had asked me how I feel, and I'm gonna get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up and was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So, all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct with their behaviors and the things that they've done, he go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He know different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro.
Although Ellen may be the hottest topic in Hollywood right now, she's not alone. Far from it. Rumors are swirling that other A-listers are sweating bullets, abruptly canceling appearances to control the damage. Hollywood is in complete chaos, like someone dropped a stink bomb at the Oscars after party. Celebrities are acting shadier than palm trees in a heat wave. Suddenly, some high-profile stars have decided they need a vacation in places with no extradition treaties, while others are conveniently pretending they've never heard of Diddy. This rumored list is said to have more names than Santa's naughty list, and let me tell you, these celebs might not be getting coal in their stockings this year. They could be getting something worse, like handcuffs. Their behavior has been downright suspicious. 1 minute, they're all over social media sharing avocado toast pics and bragging about hot yoga. The next, radio silence. It's like everyone suddenly decided to detox from social media at the same time. But let's be real, we're not buying it. Meanwhile, Hollywood's publicists are in full-blown crisis mode. They're probably working harder than a kindergarten teacher during story time, spending every waking moment glued to social media, crafting damage control strategies. These days, no comment has become the new good morning in Hollywood. The town is holding its breath, and nobody knows what bombshell might drop next.
What the heck Ellen was thinking as this tweet has gone all over and it's still up. I was like, is this tweet real? And apparently it is. This is from November 2016. Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, or as I call him, Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff. You don't need to know why. I mean, my goodness, why wouldn't you have deleted that? The fact that she just forgot, didn't go back and check. Whoo, this is just a really bad look. And that's her account, just in case. I wanted to make sure. Yep, that's the one. That is the Ellen account. And she's calling him Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff. Was Ellen getting these girls at the party too? Is that what was going on? This is shocking. Meanwhile, new clips are also resurfacing where Ellen's saying you got to come to the party, Diddy, because once you get there, the party really starts. This is a February 2018 clip. Her love for Diddy was ongoing. She was talking to him, and during the interview, she poked fun at Combs for being late for the show and questioned if he'd repeat the behavior at the upcoming party she was throwing. Are you going to be early to my party? Yes, I am. No, Combs admitted. You know, I have to arrive fashionably late, the record exec said. DeGeneres told Combs, not too late though, please. What time would you like me there? Combs asked. I'll tell you later, but not too late, because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts. Yeah, Combs replied, nodding in agreement. You know what I'm saying, Ellen says. I got you, Combs said, adding, I promise you, I'm not going to let you down on this big one, for real. DeGeneres then grabs Combs' pinky on his left and told it, your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard. I can't wait, DeGeneres replied, which made Combs laugh. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, they're going to be dancing real hard.
Here's the real kicker. It's not just about who's on the list. It's about what they did to earn a spot. Are we talking about some underground celebrity fight club? A secret society pulling strings behind the scenes to control the box office? Or just a group of rich folks getting up to things so scandalous even a reality TV producer would blush? The stakes are sky-high. Careers could end faster than you can say *, cancel culture. * endorsement deals might be ripped apart like confetti at a New Year's bash, and movie studios are likely scrambling to rewrite scripts, cutting out anyone who's suddenly a liability. And let's not forget the fans. Oh, they're out there playing detective, analyzing every tweet and Instagram post to figure out who's next. It's like a game of Clue, except instead of Colonel Mustard in the library with a candlestick, it's *, which A-lister got caught in the VIP room with incriminating evidence. But here's the funny part. While everyone's pointing fingers at who might be on the list, nobody's asking, who's not on it. And trust me, those folks are probably sweating more than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, because in Hollywood, sometimes staying out of the scandal is the biggest scandal. Word on the street is that another huge star, a household name, the kind your grandma probably follows, is about to get pulled into this mess. If that happens, Ellen's little drama will look like a kiddie pool compared to the Titanic sinking. Hold on tight, things are about to get wild.
Okay, Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff. I mean, what the heck's happening here? You can feel the tension in the conversation, one person wrote. His whole demeanor and tone was different when he told her, I promise I'm not going to let you down, the commenter read. This is just strange. Now look, doesn't mean anything happened, let's be clear, but Ellen, she's not had the best reputation of late. Not being very nice to her staffers, constantly playing the victim of things. It wouldn't surprise me if she was out there doing crazy stuff herself. Now, criminal stuff, I'm not going to go that far, but being mean to people and enjoying sort of standing over them, and that's kind of what she does. Ellen's whole game of games was just laughing at people hurting themselves, putting themselves in crazy situations. The way she's constantly just enjoying people getting scared. I mean, I like a good scare too, to be fair, but there's just a meanness to her beyond the way she treated her staff and just how she loves watching people, just get theirs. And so it's an interesting connection that these two would be aligned like that. So I don't know what the heck she was trying to say with this, but this is gross. This does not hold up well. She has some splaining to do. Meanwhile, as we deal with whatever the heck that is with Ellen, the case against Diddy is now going global. The probe team against him is launching a search in the UK for victims as they jet in from the US. He's been charged with, obviously as he knows, but US investigators have flown to London. I was just down there over concerns that Diddy may have went against people there as well. British detectives joined the New York team after they arrived as part of their probe into the hip-hop star. He's been charged with a lot of things, as we know. Whenever he went, the team are now following. Outside the States, he enjoyed no more than in the UK. That's where he went the most, apparently. And so now, given the huge amount of time he spent in London, there are concerns that the alleged offending was not confined to American shores. Prosecutors are imploring anyone in the UK who may have information that they feel could help the investigation get in touch. Now, this is key because in order for a lot of cars on the road, that term for it, especially if it's international, global lines, that changes the game even more, where Diddy's even more effed. And as we spoke to, one of the people who was involved in the Diddy parties, a madame, if you will, we had her on exclusively. We need to bring her back after all this. We'll have her back. But as she spoke up, she was from other countries. They clearly brought in other people from other countries, so it's not a surprise. Prosecutor Damian Williams has helped put Maxwell behind bars for 20 years, etc. The New York billionaire is one of the world's richest, most powerful musicians, has made regular trips to Britain since rocketing to fame with I'll Be Missing You. He was known as Puff Daddy. He attended Sir Elton John's white tie and tiara ball. Combs was pictured with stars including Lady Victoria Hervey, who would join her on his yacht at Cannes and the MTV Movers in Barcelona years later. He was courted by high society, including the royals. 2007, he famously performed the concert for Diana at Wembley before being pictured with William and Harry backstage. That's right. Same year, he was pictured leaving the event attended by David and Victoria Beckham. Oh, and there he is with Russell Brand. We know how he likes to party. Shocking to see. Now, Russell Brand has completely tried to redo his whole thing. He's out there doing baptisms in his tighty whities. This man is completely trying to cover up his tracks from his past because regardless, look, I've heard some things from people I trust, and I think he's absolutely doing everything he can to distance himself, Russell Brand, etc., from his past, which was very actual, very substance-fueled. I don't see how he can remember it all, to be honest. But that's a sole separate case. He's fighting his own fight to each their own. But seeing these two together, they go get him to the Greek duo, it's a bad look for me. It's not a good look. This does not help Russell Brand's case being pictured out there with Diddy. He made visits between 2008 and 2010 while filming Get on the Greek. He appeared in a supporting role in the film alongside top billed stars Russell Brand, Jonah Hill, while promoting the comedy. Brand said of Combs, "He looked after me. He took me on an enforced holiday to Vegas." Brand's like the biggest partier there is. Comedian Brand, who's himself been, had claims surfaced last year, added he's a very intense man because I think he comes from nothing and now he's very, very powerful. People that do stuff like that, they're intense. Now, I like him, but he's very influential. Say that you don't want to do something with Diddy and Diddy does not want you to do it. It's really hard not to do that thing. You still do it because you think, don't upset him. This is Russell Brand saying this. Imagine that. Russell Brand, of all people, you can't say no to Diddy. This is crazy. Combs visited London and returned 3 months later to launch his fashion brand, Sean John, while at the event. He said, "I've always enjoyed traveling throughout Europe and spent much of my vacation here, and London truly feels like a second home to me." God, how many homes did this guy actually have? A lot of homes, it seems. A lot of homes. So, yes, they are flying out there looking for possible British victims. This makes this even more intense. It's bringing it to a global scale. I'm not surprised. And yes, Harry and William have been there at these white parties, the resurfaced interviews. The images are there. Now, they were young. Kanye's there. A lot of people were there. Just because you're photographed with them doesn't mean you're involved. But again, anybody who's been snapped with Diddy is now getting worried. Do I think Harry was really doing things behind the scenes? Look, I think a lot of things about Harry. I don't think so. I think they were just there hanging with the rappers, trying to look cool, personally. But
let's dive deeper into this chaotic sidewalk where we've been spilling tea hotter than a summer day, with Ellen on the run. Everyone's glued to their screens as Diddy's list wreaks havoc, shaking Hollywood right down to its designer boots. But what's really going on here? Is Ellen really dodging the feds? Or are we just witnessing another Hollywood stunt? Are your favorite celebs caught in serious trouble? Or is this all smoke and mirrors? Celebrity gossip may be as addictive as candy, sweet but never healthy. We're out here playing detective with every cryptic tweet and suspicious Instagram post. But the truth? Oh, It's probably messier than we can imagine. People are buzzing in the streets, but now we want to know, what's your take on all this chaos? Drop your theories in the comments. This tea is far from over, and things are just heating up.